right, I'm back in the building. This time we're going to do Royce Reed and her baby daddy. All right. His name is Dwight Howard. So, this is Sessions with Nola. This is Chris. Thank you for coming through. So, I wanted to talk a little bit about like this particular situation because I do feel like a lot of women face these types of scenarios where they're in a relationship with somebody. Their children are put in situations that are not healthy. The relationship may be toxic. This man obviously is bisexual, and recently he just got engaged to someone else. And then it feels like Royce has been talking off and on for years about her issues with him, but it seems like for whatever reason, once he got engaged, she became completely triggered. And of course, maybe her NDA was up, but she seems to be spilling all the beans about Dwight Howard, his family, his sexuality. And she was just on another interview talking about him again. So again, this is Sessions with Nola. This is a commentary channel, an opinion channel. This is a channel where we're going to do celebrity reviews. It can be on people who are, sports, entertainment, what have you. We're going to talk about it. All right. So, as I'm talking about this topic, give me your feedback. Tell me what you think. Right. And I'm going to read some of the comments. So Dwight announced that he was engaged maybe about a month ago. And he seems happy with this particular woman that he announced this engagement with. Shortly thereafter, Royce Reed came out and she started to give us a more insight into their relationship or lack thereof, how she felt her son wasn't protected in that situation, how allegedly Dwight was, not protected as well as he was growing up, and his sister, right? And, we see these things in families all the time where children are not protected. It still happens today, guys. It still happens today. And so Royce Reed was speaking on this. Dwight Howard's fiance, of course, came out and said that she was going to continue to stand by Dwight. And he reshared her sentiments, etc., etc. So recently, Royce Reed did a GoFundMe because Dwight Howard, and I'm looking at this picture, that's why I'm pointing in this direction. Dwight Howard served her with a cease and desist to stop talking. Well, obviously, that did not move her at all because she continued to talk. And she then asked for, she set up a GoFundMe in order to get support, financial support, because she's saying that she needed it for a lawyer, along with bills and and so on and so forth. Dwight, on the other hand, is saying Royce has been financially irresponsible with the money that she was given. He even made a statement about she had taken some money, it was a large sum, and used it towards her dance school, right? Instead of child support. So he's saying she's been financially irresponsible with the child support money that she was given. So now, he's continuing his life. He's with his fiance. But does that stop him from having bisexual tendencies or being attracted to men? Absolutely not. I learned this through having my clients who, of course, are part of the LGBT. Just like with straight people, and you choose to be in one relationship at a time, people who are bisexual can do the same thing. People who are gay do the same thing. That doesn't mean that because you're bisexual or you're gay that you're just out here just going all willy-nilly. Some people, even straight people, they do it, right? So he's made this decision to be in this relationship with this woman. And obviously, Royce has decided she's not going to let him have his happiness. Now, let me say this. I don't protect nobody's secrets, especially if they don't BS, right? I don't protect nobody's secrets. If somebody put my child in a precarious situation, I wouldn't be protecting them either, right? So now Royce was literally on an interview with Cam Newton. And Dwight, it says, and this is on Hollywood, the Neighborhood Talk. Sorry. What's up, Neighborhood Talk? So the neighborhood talk, and it says Dwight Howard's ex, Boo, Royce Reed, claims she allegedly witnessed him in bed with men all the time. They took mushrooms together in the bed, moaning and touching themselves. All right. So this is the only statement that they made on this. I guess they're trying to push you over to go see the show. And so as I was reading this, I'm like, it's one thing, Royce, to talk about. It's one thing to talk about what he's done to you while you were in a relationship. I get that. She's talking about when she was in a relationship. It is, I think you're no longer in a relationship with this man. And it's like, okay, I can understand her speaking on it because maybe she was in a position and had a NDA where she couldn't really talk. But it's like, Royce, okay, if this is not about your son, what you keep talking about this for? Like, to me, if I'm done with the person I'm with, and this is like, what are we talking about here? It makes you feel like she's just trying to, at this point, take him down. So let's just read the comments. So somebody says she still knows he's the father of her kid, right? Yeah, we keep forgetting, right, that we have children in the world. So just like Erica Mena or Royce or people that I see on social media, when you bash the person's mother and father online, that's still that person has a child with you, right? Somebody said, I wouldn't even give her a platform, right? This is what they said. And then somebody else said, and she still stayed and would have stayed there if he wanted her. She literally, I agree with that person, because she literally didn't leave until she was forced to be out of the situation. Somebody else wrote, Cam is gay for this conversation. I was saying the same thing. Cam, do you have the nerve with your flamboyant child? But Royce is so corny. This is what another person says. Another person wrote, why does she try to humiliate this man on every occasion? Let's see what the feedback was. That's because she's bitter. Oh, that man beat her, stopped her from working, sued her countless times, smothered her in legal fees until she could not afford to fight back, then drained her and her mother's bank account so they can get a settlement. Drained her and her mother's bank account to get settlement money. She has no loyalty to him because she misses putting because she misses putting her finger in his butt. Oh my God. These people on social media is a mess, baby. Somebody said, we knew already. I'm sure she joined in, but she won't say that. All right. And another person said, she's telling the truth. Why is everyone mad? If this was about her, it'll kind of be unfit for her. And take the kids away from the comments. Cam, you suspect for even asking that. Another person says his lawyers will be hitting her with it in the AM. So let me say this. I just feel like it came from a place of malice. Okay, you had this terrible relationship. You decided to have a child with him. You continued to deal with him until y'all fell out. You knew about his lifestyle, etc., etc. Okay, he allegedly put your son in a situation for 5 years. There would never have been a minute where it would have went on for 5 minutes if that were my child. But for 5 years, allegedly, this behavior with your son went on, right? In the care of him. It's time for y'all to grow up. It's time for y'all to get better at co-parenting and communicating, because you have a son in the world, and this is not a little kid. I saw a boy dance on her on TikTok. That looked like basically a grown man at this point. It's time to put the differences aside and move forward. His lifestyle, who he deals with, who he dates at this point is neither here nor there. Trying to take him down and all you're going to make him do is, in this woman that he's decided to be with, is bond together even closer, right? I feel Royce has a right to speak her truth, though. I feel Royce has a right to speak her truth about what she experienced in her relationship. But at some point, it's time for her to either write a book and put it to bed, and move on with your life. All right. A lot of us, we spend a lot of time and a lot of energy continuing to live in the dysfunction and the toxicity of a relationship that was. And it's time to move forward. Again, write a book, right? Tell us about it. And I'll buy it. That's for sure. But I definitely feel like the timing just made me feel like it came from a place of jealousy. It came from a place of being malicious, right? Okay, your NDA, I'm sure, didn't just, was over the minute he got engaged with the lady. If your NDA was over, that was your moment to speak. It wasn't until he got engaged that it felt like you came out. So, I don't know what the expiration date of your NDA was, but I'm sure your expiration date didn't start the date that he decided to get engaged. So to me, it made it feel like it came from a place of jealousy or bitterness or not wanting to see somebody have happiness. And again, she has a right to speak her truth. She has a right to defend herself. She has a right to speak on her child. But it just kind of felt out of left field a little bit. Even though she's been talking about this a little bit off and on for years, it felt like she waited till he got engaged and announced his situation to kind of try to expose him and continue to expose him. Okay, so where are we going with this? Okay, so now what? Now what's next? So we're going to talk about everything that he did, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. What's next? What now? Right? So I just feel like you got to get to a place and a point to where, like, what's next for us? What's next for me? What's next for my son? The goal in my life for my children is always to protect them. Right? I'm not saying hide anything, but my goal is to protect them. You're not protecting your son by doing what she's doing. So I just feel like speak your truth and start moving your life forward. Get into a healthier place so that you can flourish and grow. And if you want to tell it all, go write a book about it. Go sit down and write a book about the life and the toxic life of being with Dwight Howard and share your story. And Dwight, share your story too, because I'm sure there's a story there that needs to be told about what happened to you, and what led to all of the abuse that you possibly experienced, maybe your sister and even your son, at the hands of someone in your life that you trusted. Maybe you can share your story, because there are a lot of men that have been violated by family members, right? People in the family, close to the family. And this is why, they kind of go in the direction that they go, and they make the choices that they make. Is, sometimes the person that we're, pointing fingers at, we're also a victim, So maybe we should look at it from all sides of the coin. But Royce, share your story, but do it in a way that is, what is the purpose of this? Is it to heal? Is it to grow? Is it to forgive? Or is it simply bitterness and malice? Somebody wrote this whole thing about what he did to her and her mom and all this stuff. If that's the case, write that down. Share. Again, like I said, my video cut off, but I wanted to say, share your story and talk and speak your truth. But let's make sure, especially when you have children involved, that it's done in a healthy way, in a respectful way, and it's done. What is the purpose of it? Is it to what's the end game here, right? So you're getting energy around Royce Reed. We're going to just pull a couple of cards on Royce Reed and Dwight Howard. Will they ever get in a good place? Will they get any mediation? Will this really turn legal? She continues to do interviews about her relationship with him. And she has the 8 of Cups coming through. Give me the energy around Dwight Howard and Royce Reed. What will happen to them? What will be the outcome of this? There's a legal situation that's going to happen with them. So it talks about here legal consequences coming, right? And those legal consequences could end up being a situation where, I feel like she'll still be able to get out what she wants to get out about this story. And she'll be able to kind of walk away from it. But there is something about legal consequences. Something legal. So it feels like they'll legally tie up. And then this, of course, is a message around to disconnect, to separate, So it feels like eventually it'll come to a head. by 2026, I feel like we'll kind of not be hearing about it as much. But Royce and Dwight Howard look like they're going to end up tangling up legally behind what's being said. All right? I wish them the best. Hopefully they can get in a good place where they can kind of, Eight of Cups, walk away from this and put this to rest. Again, she has a right to say. She has a right to her to defend herself. She has a right. But it felt like what was she defending the day she came out and just started putting all this information out? Like, it just felt so out of left field. I know she's been kind of sharing stuff off and on as things hit social media, but then it almost gave me like, this is my opinion. When he announced his engagement and he started going on social media with the lady, and then she came out, it almost made me feel like she was triggered. She was jealous. She was, it didn't make me feel like it came from a place of, it just felt like it just felt like she got into a big argument with him out of left field, right? That's what it felt like to me. Give me your opinion. I know a lot of women have been in situations where they were with a person, this person mistreated them. They felt that they weren't able to speak because they were in an NDA, or the child was very small, and like the person in the comment section said, he put under a lot of duress and stress. I think they both give me toxic. I'm gonna be honest with you, they both. So I don't know if there's anybody that's innocent in this situation, but share with me what you think about Royce Reed and Dwight Howard. Have a great day. Take care. This is Sessions with Nola. Peace.